to take after my man Coach Prime. Minnesota Vikings, we coming. Hello everyone, my name is Derek and welcome to Detroit Lions Syndicate. If you are new to the channel, we talk all things about the Detroit Lions, and yes, we were one of the only channels, if not the only channel, talking playoffs at 1-6. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to 7,000 by the end of the season. The Detroit Lions host the Minnesota Vikings coming this Sunday, week 14 at Ford Field. It will be the last game of the 3-game homestand for the Detroit Lions. And the New York Jets and Washington Commanders didn't help our case much by tying yesterday, which I think was done completely on purpose. But nevertheless, the Detroit Lions have to first handle their business. And our business this week is to get Minnesota back for that tough loss in week 3 at their place. Now, this will be the first time we've seen TJ Hockenson since the trade, and it will be a game to see because both teams have a lot riding on this game. The Minnesota Vikings sit at 10-2, still trying to get the first seed in the NFC. They lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 11-1, sitting atop the NFC. And the Detroit Lions have a legitimate shot to make the playoffs. To pretty much make the playoffs, we can only afford to lose one of our last 5. We need a lot of help from the Commanders, Giants, and also the Seattle Seahawks. But again, as I stated earlier, the first order of business is to take care of our business and win games. And according to Dan Campbell, the Detroit Lions have played some of their best football. They're playing their best football in the season. Now in the season. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. The bumps and bruises they took early, other teams are doing it now. The New York Giants have not won a game in 3 weeks. They went from 7-2 to now 7-4-1. And according to BETMGM, they say the Minnesota Vikings are overrated and the Detroit Lions are 1-point favorites to win in this game. This information comes from Yahoo Sports. The Vikings somehow have a point differential of only +10 despite a 10-2 record. They've been blown out in both losses to the Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys. Those losses might indicate that the Vikings aren't going to have a long run in the NFC playoffs. However, the Vikings did beat the Buffalo Bills, though they caught plenty of breaks to do so. Now, you guys know we have a Minnesota Vikings syndicate, and we've been talking back and forth. And the Vikings have gotten a lot of breaks when it comes to their wins. And they, like you said, they got blown out against the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles. When they played us back in week 3, we gave them that game. Now, at the end of the day, it's not how you win. It's the fact that you win. And the Minnesota Vikings have done just that. A lot of you would say they got lucky. I myself don't believe in luck, but they just got fortunate to win those games. Josh Allen gave them one, we gave them one, and the list goes on and on and on. But according to BetMGM, and you know the bettors know something, they say that the Vikings are overrated, and we've been hearing that a lot this season about the Minnesota Vikings. And if week 3 is any indication about how overrated they are, we're going to see this Sunday when we get our rematch. I will say this, the last 3 games between the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings have been nail-biters. Back last year when we went to their place, they won on a walk-off field goal. It was after the Justin Tucker field goal. They came back to our place, and we won on a walk-off 4th down conversion for a touchdown to win our first game of the season. And then this week, we gave them a game, leading at halftime, dominating the entire game, and Dan Campbell gave the game away. We know what happened there. So I don't expect this game to be a blowout either way. And because Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions know just how important this game is, they want the crowd to show up at Ford Field, and now is your chance to do so. The Detroit Lions only have 2 more home games left this season. We got 9 in total, 7 down, 2 to go. And this is the start of a 5-game season. And if our team has any hope of making the playoffs, they're going to need our support down at Ford Field. So Dan Campbell is asking for Detroit Lions fans to fill up the stadium. We've sold out a couple games this season, over capacity in some regards, standing room only. So make sure you guys do that this Sunday. If you have tickets to the game this Sunday, make sure that you go and show the Detroit Lions as much support as possible. Now, here's the deal. If the Minnesota Vikings beat us on Sunday, they clinch the NFC North, and we don't want that to happen in our house. I think they're going to do it anyway. Just like the old Under Armour commercials, we must protect this house. Don't have Keep our playoff hopes alive and do not allow the Minnesota Vikings to win the NFC North at Ford Field. Don't let, they can have it the next week or anytime after that, but don't let them have it where we are. Plus, a win keeps our playoff hopes alive in the first place. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How overrated do you feel that the Minnesota Vikings are this year? And how confident are you that the Detroit Lions, as of now with 5 games left, can make the playoffs in 2022? My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. Again, be sure to subscribe because we're talking playoffs until they are not a thing, because it's what I do. And I want everybody to remember that I was the only one doing it back when we were 1-6, because that's what I do. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. And as always, go Lions. Go to Ford Field this Sunday.